Alright guys, let's talk about RUNE on the channel once again. Now we last talked about this on May 12th. I want to go ahead and point that out. Now we need to take a look at this and do a little update. You can see that I'm going to start with the volume here basically, and you can see this is a very large little candlestick or node or whatever. But after we get above about, let's just say $2.10 guys, the volume is cut in more than half. I mean, none of these, candlesticks are even half of this stick here. So I would say it's going to be a smooth ride up pretty much. There's a lot of open space basically after about $2.20 all the way up to about $4.55. There just really isn't much here. Now, we will have a little bit of resistance here at about, what is this, 465 or so, 470, up to about 560. And then again, it's going to drop off. So, yeah, really $2.25, 20 cents, somewhere around here. If we can get above that, I think we'll really start to move much quicker. Now, the 12th, let's look at the 12th. I want to turn off this volume as well. Where were we on the 12th? Now, the 12th, we were actually right here. We were a little bit higher than we were today. Now we are working on the moment at the $1.85 and trying to seal a weekly candle over $1.85. So if we look at the weekly, this is what this looks like close up, guys. So we're pushing right up against it. If we can seal a candle over that, then basically 220 is in our sights, up here, guys. Now let's take a look at the RSI and the Stoke, and let's see how much strength we have in this move still. On the weekly time frame, it is getting overheated though. I'm a little bit surprised to see that it's getting overheated here. Now, the RSI is actually slightly pointed up. It's still quite low. The daily, it is pointed down pretty heavily on the Stoke. Pointed up though on the RSI, but yeah, kind of a mixed signal here. 4-hour time frame is, actually looking pretty good. On both the RSI and the Stoke, they're both pointed heavily to the upside. The 1-hour time frame getting overheated on the RSI and already overheated on the Stoke. Now the 15-minute for fun, basically flirting with being oversold, and RSI is flirting with being overbought. So we do have some mixed signals here. Let me just put this back on a 4-hour time frame and take a look at this. Now, in my opinion, I do think we're going to cool down. I'm not quite sure if we're going to actually push above the $1.85. I'm not going to say that we're not going to. We're just right there. We could, but a lot of these, time frames on the Stoke and the RSI are a little bit overheated. So we may have to push here a couple of times, few times, and then break through. But tonight is quite important. If we can seal that weekly, above this mark, guys, that would, signal that we are ready for that next step. Now, taking a look at the tokenomics, guys, actually, Thorchain is number 140. I want to go ahead and show you that. It used to be in the top like 25 or 30 coins or something like that. Now, it has fallen significantly, of course. Circulating supply, only 351 million. Max supply is 500 million, but they have created 425 million. And keep in mind, I want to mention that Thorchain could be bankrupt. So this is a highly, risky play here. However, in my opinion, I think they're going to make it out of it. I don't know if they can use some of this, supply that is not circulating or whatever to pay back the creditors. Maybe some of these creditors will take this as form of payment. Maybe. I have no idea, really, honestly. We just have to wait and see, guys. All-time high was almost $21, so you're still getting about a 91% discount at the moment if you buy your Thorchain now. However, Bitcoin is looking okay. It is on the upper side of this consolidation. Basically, we've been consolidating since the 8th, so basically 10 days. Just been chopping up and down. Now we're getting into the euphoric part up here. But, yesterday we were getting into the depression part. It's just kind of crazy. People, they start to buy up here, then they start to sell down here. They buy up here, they sell down here. They're starting to buy up here, and then it drops down, and they're like, oh no, should I sell or not? It's just really back and forth for like 10 days, guys. I have no idea why people panic so much, but we're over $100,000 and people still panic. It's insane. Now, Ethereum, I have looked at this again. I just made a video actually a little while ago on BitGet token, but I took a look at this again. I put this on a 4-hour time frame. We do have something like a flag here for Ethereum. Now, the target of this flag, if it breaks to the upside, is almost the top of this Fibonacci. So we can say 3,200 basically. Somewhere between 3,150 and 3,200 is probably where it's going to, play out if it breaks to the upside. Now, if it breaks to the downside, of course, guys, that would mean it would go somewhere about down here at about 1960. So just keep that in mind. I don't think it's going to break to the downside so low, though, in my opinion. It's doing much better now. It is the leader of the altcoins, and it's just having better days. And I think we're going to see the last part of this bull run. And Ethereum, of course, it's going to go up. I am not an Ethereum fan. I will go ahead and say that. But Ethereum will go up. I just don't know if it's going to eclipse its all-time high. I have a feeling it's probably going to top out around $4,000, maybe slightly above that, but maybe it's not going to make its all-time high again. Now, we are flirting with 1.19 trillion at the moment on the total market cap, excluding Bitcoin. If we take a look at the dominance, it is dropping a little bit today, but is starting to pull up just slightly right now. But we do have about 12 more hours on this candle. Let's see what happens. I do believe we are in for better days with this dominance, but we do need to break this 2.5-year trend line. We did get a bounce off that the other day, and then we need to break 60.46, and then I'm going to be a little bit more calm. Now, it is altcoin season. We do have an 18. I just refreshed this before the video. And it's Bitcoin season, guys. Unfortunately, the more it bounces with the dominance, the lower this is going to go. Now, the CME gap is, I think it's only a couple $100, few $100 right now. But yeah, we stopped the CME at 104,425. So yeah, if you were going to basically long this, you would long it probably for about $600 or $700, and then you would, call off your long and see which way the market wants to go. Now, if we take a look at the dollar index, it is at actually almost 101, but just sitting slightly below that. Been consolidating here for a few days though, and let's see what it does tomorrow. Now, the liquidation heat map, it's sitting at 150 million at the moment, which have been wrecked in the last 24 hours. Not too bad. That's actually relatively low. Pretty much equal on both sides as well. Now, fear and greed sitting at a 74. We haven't been out of the 70 to 74 range in at least 7 or 8 days now. So that's a bit crazy. The bull market peak indicator is still 0 from 30 at the moment. It's still 100% hold, so don't panic, guys. The Pi cycle top indicator is probably the best indicator and still far from crossing. What do you see, though? Is it coming up? Now, the economic calendar, it is today we have 1 speaker. Tomorrow we have like 5 speakers here. We also have this U.S. leading index. That's not too important. Now, Tuesday we do have a few speakers. I don't think there was so many when I did the videos yesterday, but there's like 5 speakers here. Wednesday, not much going on. We do have 1 speaker here, it looks like. That's about it. Thursday, we do have a few, numbers like PMI. We do have manufacturing index. We do have at least 1 speaker, it looks like. So we also have jobless claims. So yeah, I mean, it's a small macro day, I would say. It's maybe like a 3 or a 4 on a 1 to 10 scale. Now, Friday, there is 1 governor here from the Fed speaking, but that's pretty much it. It's pretty much a dead day, guys. Now, if we take a look at the, FedWatch tools, it looks like 8% believe that we're going to get a cut, so they're holding out hope, but about 92% believe we're not getting a cut still. Now, keep in mind, there's also 31 days to go, so that can change very rapidly, guys. And especially with all the speakers that we have from the Fed and FOMC coming this week, these numbers can drastically change. Now, crypto bubbles looks pretty good today, much better than yesterday. But nothing, significantly up. There's only Brett at 12.4%. The rest is about 7 or 6 or 5% at best. So I just did a BGB video. It was up actually a little bit more earlier, but still sitting about 5.2% up at the moment. Now, if you want to stake your Thorchain, go to Coinondo, check out the deals. There's only 4 deals, guys. I actually have mine in Bybit because I think it stopped making anything on Gate because this is lending. So be careful, guys. This is savings in Bybit. And I know it's not a lot, but at least it's making something. Anyways, if you like this video, guys, like, subscribe, activate the bell, share this video with your friends. Check out some of the deals with the exchanges that I have below. It would help me out if you sign up through me. And if you want to become a member of the channel, guys, I will put you in the Telegram group, and you can get some of these, notifications. You'll know what's happening at the moment it happens, basically. I will forward these measurements of news, and you'll see how strong that news is in relation to Bitcoin and other coins and how it affects it, guys. So anyways, guys, if you like this video, like I said, like, subscribe, activate the bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one.